Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Artificial Intelligence lecture series. I am Nadiya Patel. Let's get started with our new lecture. So we are in continuation to Introduction to Artificial Intelligence. We have already gone through what the definition of AI stands for, what exactly is artificial intelligence branches, what are different possible applications of AI, and even some of the day-to-day applications which we are already familiar and using. So in today's lecture we will actually try to figure out and understand that how does artificial intelligence actually works. We have gone through some different branches of AI which are the vital and the important branches which have actually contributed to artificial intelligence and made it seem so intelligent and interactive. So what is the technology or techniques behind it? Definitely we are going to go through the overview of it, because each or major of these bits we are going to study in the coming units and in coming lectures. But before that we need to have a scenario about what technological background is artificial intelligence having, which has made it that popular and is going to be serving in near future as the pro and prime technology. So the first thing which we will see is the scenario behind artificial intelligence. The next thing which we will again go through, we have already gone through what machine learning is and how it is related to AI, but now we will actually understand what technology is machine learning using. We'll just get a glimpse about it. The next thing we will understand is how deep learning helps. Again, we have already gone through what deep learning and machine learning is all about. Further, we will see and understand how computer vision actually helps artificial intelligence, how cognitive computing helps artificial intelligence, how natural language processing helps AI. So let us go through the first point, that is the scenario behind artificial intelligence. By far we have understood that artificial intelligence is into making intelligent machines or giving capability of human intelligence to devices, softwares or machines. This is what we have understood on the basis of definitions and some of the concepts. So AI is basically artificial creation of human-like intelligence with which any machine, any device, any software should be able to learn, it should be able to think, it should also be able to perceive, it should be able to reason, plan and process, that too natural language, that too into natural language like humans do, not into the machine language, which is a barrier. In fact, we cannot directly conversate with machine because machine understands machine readable languages. We have our own set of languages which are tremendous when it comes to globe. English has got 4 to 5 versions of English when it comes to accent. Hindi has got a lot of variations when it comes from Hindi which is spoken or is communicated into North India, and the Hindi which is used while communication into South India. Similarly, Marathi has got a variant of types of talking, the types of slangs change, even the type of pronunciation and accent especially changes with the course of or with respect to the region. So we are into developing that intelligent machine which should actually perform all these tasks in human readable or writable language, which is very difficult to even imagine and develop. Further, artificial intelligence is completely dependent on data and internet. As I have given you maximum, or I can say most of the applications in the previous lecture, if you have not gone through that lecture, please go through it. I have given you all possible applications, right from the ones we use in our daily lives even today, the ones which are implemented in the healthcare, the ones which are implemented in the banking sectors. By far, you might have understood that data and internet is something which are the core feeders, or you can say the feed of artificial intelligence. Without these two, we cannot imagine AI working smoothly. So, if for example, we went through the Google applications, and we went through the Facebook, and we went through some social media applications as well, which are already using artificial intelligence, all of them are internet enabled. So without internet, we cannot imagine these things. And AI is maximum, or you can say the most of the feed of AI is internet. So without internet and without data, you cannot imagine artificial intelligence. So one goal or challenge is developing a kind of internet that is trustworthy. We have already seen cybersecurity essentials in the last year's paper, and we have already got a glimpse and a clear picture about how internet actually works. What are the security issues related to internet? How reliable we are becoming day to day on this internet? And we all have, I could say almost every one of us have given some or the other data on the internet, in terms of photos, in terms of videos, in terms of information. When it comes to opening your Gmail account, right from opening your Gmail account or having a social media account, we have given minimum of or maximum of our information over internet. So internet comes with many drawbacks of security, where identity theft or some virus attacks or some phishing attacks are very common nowadays, and you might have even experienced accounts getting hacked one after the other. So internet is not that trustworthy, and we are developing such technology which is majorly based on internet. So the first thing which should be addressed or which should be fixed is giving a highly secured internet which is trustworthy. So henceforth, if I am about to share my credentials, if I am about to share my bank details over internet, I should feel it completely safe. So this is what is the main aim or challenge first before developing strong artificial intelligence. So AI works by combining large amount of data with fast interactive processing and intelligent algorithms, allowing the software to learn automatically from patterns or features in the data. So basically data and internet are the prime feeders, or you can say the prime feed of artificial intelligence. With this, AI makes use of some intelligent algorithms. We all know what algorithms are. They are steps of execution of program. So instead of writing down every single program, they have worked on developing such algorithms which could learn, which could perceive, which could think. So the first branch which we have already discussed in the previous lecture, that is machine learning, which is completely based on data. I have given you an overview on what machine learning is, what deep learning is. So machine learning is a branch which works on data. So how exactly is machine learning helping artificial intelligence? So the first thing is that it is making use of some learning algorithms, and these learning algorithms need training data to carry out their processing. As the name is suggesting, they are not the typical or the normal algorithms, but they are the learning algorithms. They have capability or ability to learn from the present and previous data which you are going to feed them. So instead of writing down programs, what machine learning emphasizes in, or what it focuses on, is create a data which is reliable, which has covered almost all possible things, and feed or pass this data to these learning algorithms. Further, these learning algorithms will generate a new set of rules, as we say match the pairs, or we can say some do's and some don'ts depending on the situations, and based on their inferences, that is by calculating their computations, the final conclusion which is obtained, which is known as inferences, on the basis of the training data, it acquires some inferences. So first thing which you need to do is collect or gather data which is reliable, which has covered all possible information. Feed that data to these learning algorithms. Learning algorithms will generate some new set of rules and finally find inferences from them. Further, generating a new algorithm formally is referred as machine learning model. Now this procedure is known as machine learning model. By using different training data, the same learning algorithm could be used to generate different models. Now we have understood that machine learning is completely depending on data. This data should be worth relying, and further learning algorithms are going to carry out some set of rules and compute them and find some conclusions. These conclusions are known as learning models. So if you have computed some things and you have obtained some learning models, they are that capable or they are that strong that you can use the same model for teaching a computer to translate a language and predict stock market. So one single model can help in two different domains. That capability or that strength is machine learning possessing. So further, while developing, as I told you, that internet should be trustworthy, but while building a trustworthy internet, there are certain issues which incur and which have become a barrier in building such an internet. The first issue is socio-economic impacts. For example, depending on the current situation, or you can say political issues which are happening into country, the pandemic situation, the uncontrolled situation in some areas, and some difference of opinions. So every time the scenario, or you can say the situation, is not going to remain same. Every time a calamity comes up, the data is going to change. Every time we face some, you can say, socio-economic issues like border issues, or you can say something which are regional level issues like having a drought condition, having floods. Every time these conditions come up, the socio-economic behavior of humans change, and so as the data changes. So internet plays good and bad both roles. So creating or building a strong trustworthy internet becomes difficult because of such socio-economic impacts. The second is issue of transparency. Every time we cannot collect data and make it available for everyone, so security is again a you can say issue. So even if you are building an artificially intelligent enabled device, you cannot feed anybody's data on it on the basis of trials. So the next is accountability and biasness. Again, this is one more thing which is to be taken consideration. Now here biasness we can say in terms of, say for example, X is a country and Y is a country. Both are the neighboring countries. X is the, you can say, a threat to the Y, and X is building up an artificially intelligent enabled device. So it is definitely going to build it in terms of like it has to work against the Y country. So as it is the dispute, you can say, as there is a disputed kind of situation, the one who is developing the device will develop it in favor of himself or his country or his region. Again, the same thing will happen if a person is developing a device which is artificial intelligent device which is supposed to give you some answers, and if you ask a question which is apart from his community or religion or region, you cannot rely on the result given by that device, because the person who is building it maybe build it in favor of his religion, his community or his country or his region. So this is biasness. So you cannot find a correct, or you can say justified answer which is truth. So this is something which will impact developing an intelligent device. So it is completely based on the person who is developing it. The next is new uses of data. Day by day we generate a lot of, you can say, tremendous amount of data which is unimaginable. So as the data is increasing, its uses are definitely going to increase. So further, the 3 points are very, very crucial: safety and security, ethical issues, creation of new ecosystems. So these are the things which are to be focused, which are becoming difficult in developing a trustworthy internet. Let us see now how deep learning helps artificial intelligence. I have already shown you that deep learning goes with some statistical functions. It has some statistical functions and it makes use of some neural networks. So this is completely based on actually creating human-like biology. So like our brain functions, our brain has the axons, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, the neural schema. Similar construction of pattern, or you can say similar construction of algorithm, is generated for a machine so that it can act and behave like human. So first thing what it does is it contains neural network that learns by processing data. Artificial neural network mimics the biological network in the human brain. It uses huge neural network with many layers of processing unit. It takes advantage of advances in computing power and improved training techniques to learn complex patterns in large amount of data. So one thing what it does, it creates some complex patterns like the image I showed you before has. So like our brain has a complex structure of neurons, the similar structure is created for machine, and the way our neurons behave, that is the job of passing a message from one senses to the another, the same thing is done or mimicked in machines. So common application of this could be image and speech recognition. Now the next point, which is quite interesting, that how computer vision is helping artificial intelligence. So I have given you an image on the screen right now. I would like that you could pause this video right here, observe this image and analyze. Can you see something in this image? Take a pause, or you can just take a screenshot of it and go through the image later. So I have given you one complex kind of a pattern on your screen, and what you're supposed to do is just write down into the comments, because I think this is what is going to help us, because this is a small experiment kind of a thing. Because what I say is, like, which is true as well, every human behaves and every human thinks differently. So my thinking is going to be different than yours. So what I see might be different from what you see. So just pause this video or take a screenshot of it and write down into the comment section the image 1 is of what. Similarly, this is the second image. So again, go through the image, observe it and type down what do you see. You can see multiple things, you can see single thing, you can see nothing. So type it down, what do you see? And this is the third image. So image 1, image 2 and image 3. Go through these images and write into the comments that what exactly did you saw. So we are discussing actually this because computer vision relies on pattern recognition. So as this image was a pattern, this is a pattern, and I just want you to see what exactly do you see. Computer vision relies on pattern recognition and deep learning to recognize what is in a picture or video. Now I just gave you on the screen just a picture. This technology is already implemented. So as you saw and you went through the pattern, I hope you found your answer. Some of you will quickly find answers the moment they see the images. They'll quickly figure out what the image is all about. Some of you might take time. Some of you might actually understand what the image was after getting answers. So this is quite tricky when it comes to brain and it comes to functioning. Different parts of our brain have different functioning. People say, like for example, the one who is good at studies might not be good at sports. The one who is good at creativity like singing, dancing, drawing and painting might not be good at studies. And there could be you can say a thing, the one who is less talkative is more intelligent. People say, I don't agree actually. So jokes apart, this is all about perception, what you think. So these are some things which are actually analyzed in aptitude studies. If you have went through some aptitude study, they actually analyze what is your interest into, like if you are a scientific kind of a person, if you are mathematical kind of a person, if you have a biological liking, or if you have a creative side which has got nothing to do with studies, as they say. So similarly, this part of analyzing things from patterns comes with a special ability. Some people do it with a blink, some people take a lot of time to understand. This thing is incorporated into pattern recognition. So what we do, we actually see pattern, we compare it with our previous data. Have we seen something similar before? If we have already seen something similar before, we try to recall, what have I seen? I mean, this is something, but we don't actually answer. This is something, I know this is something, but we don't answer. This capability of us of calculating and comparing things with historic things comes with pattern recognition. Everything we see, everything we sense is recorded in our brains in the form of pattern. So this in the form of technology is given, like the photos of criminals are fed to a software, and that software is attached to a CCTV camera. This is already implemented, and the CCTV camera which is planted on the important sectors of country, like say for example bus station, railway station, and some vital areas like you can say the important buildings where important people go and come. So if the CCTV cameras are implanted in such places, they have proven that they have seen images, and they have become successful in finding a criminal from a mob of 100. So this is what pattern recognition is. When machines can process, analyze and understand images, they can capture images or videos in real time and interpret their surrounding. So write it down into your notes that one example is finding criminals with the help of CCTV cameras and AI enabled softwares from a mob of hundreds of people. Now the next we can say a technology which is helping artificial intelligence section make it interactive is cognitive computing. As you can see on the screen, there is this robo which is again the popular one, and he is interacting with the human in the best possible manner. So he is giving the gesture The similar gesture when we say hello, this is a slang language of college people actually. So he is interacting in the same possible manner. This capability of robots acting like human and communicating in the best possible manner has become possible because of cognitive computing. So cognitive computing is a subfield of artificial intelligence that strives for a natural human-like interaction with machines. It is used in human-machine interaction or communication. Its cognitive computing goal is for machines to stimulate human process and ability to interpret images and speech and actually speak coherently in response. Now the next part is how natural language processing is helping AI. So as we know that languages are varied. So one thing what they do is they analyze, understand and generate human-like language including speech. The next stage of natural language processing is interaction of human with machine and actually interacting in our normal everyday language, like maybe in near future we might interact in Marathi with Alexa or interact in Hindi with any robo which is going to get generated, and this is going to be possible because of natural language processing. So this was all about today's lecture. I hope you found it interesting and it gave you more clarity about how artificial intelligence is actually working. I hope you liked it. Do not forget to write down your answers of what you saw into images, because we are going to carry this small experiment in our next lectures. Thank you.